Welcome to A Century of Cinema. Today I will be exploring my favourite films of 1952. First up is Beware My Lovely, starring Ida Lupino and Robert Ryan. Lupino plays Helen Gordon, a widow who hires Ryan's Howard Wilton to do some work around the house for her. However, Helen soon finds that Howard is prone to memory problems and radical mood swings. At first, just seeing him as troubled, she cautiously tries to reassure him, but as his behaviour becomes more unhinged, she begins to fear for her life. As Howard zigzags between menacing, affable, and somehow worst of all, weirdly flirtatious, Helen tries anything she can to get him out of the house without setting him off. Yet, since Howard is not exactly rational, and we as the audience, knowing that he has already killed a woman, as evidenced by his first scene of the film, Helen is constantly walking on eggshells. The main strength of Beware My Lovely is the performances of Lupino and Ryan. The majority of the movie rests entirely on their shoulders. Robert Ryan does an excellent job as the deranged Howard, giving him an air of childlike innocence in his benign moments, before cranking up to various degrees of menace just as effectively. He almost snagged my Best Actor nod. And as anyone who has been watching these videos can probably tell, I freaking love Ida Lupino. And once again, she is awesome in this. The character of Helen absolutely must hide her feelings from Howard for fear of unleashing his inner beast. But Lupino effortlessly conveys those feelings, whether it's pity or terror or most powerfully repulsion, when Howard attempts to replace her husband, all while convincingly suppressing them. That is a delicate balance to achieve, and Lupino absolutely nails it. Plus, on the few occasions where she is out of Howard's sight, all facades drop, and her panic is palpable. For all this, Ida Lupino in Beware My Lovely is my choice for Best Actress of 1952. Fred Zinnemann's High Noon stars Gary Cooper as Marshal Will Kane, who on the day of his retirement and wedding to his young bride Amy, Grace Kelly in her first major role, is informed that Frank Miller, a killer that Kane once put away, is on his way back to town, arriving on the noon train where his gang are waiting for him. On the advice of the town leaders and his new Quaker wife, he recently agrees to stick with the original plan of leaving town. However, he doesn't get far before turning around and heading back to face Miller and protect the town. Nobody seems to be happy about this decision. Although most of the townsfolk are aware of the threat posed by Miller, they believe the presence of Will make things worse. So when Will tries to recruit a posse, everyone, including the men who helped him take down Miller the last time, flat out refuse to get involved. Thus, when High Noon rolls around, Will must face Miller and his gang alone. High Noon is simply one of the best westerns ever made, and one of the more unconventional ones of the time. Short on the action and evocative scenery which typified the classic western, it is more of a simple morality play. But all of the key contributors to the film are playing at the top of their game. There's Dmitri Tiomkin's subtle Oscar-winning score and title song, co-written by Ned Washington, Floyd Crosby's understated yet powerful cinematography, more Oscar-winning work by editors Elmo Williams and Harry W. Gerstad, which is instrumental to ramping up the tension as the ever-present clocks tick closer and closer to noon, as is what I believe to be director Fred Zinnemann's best work. When not too much actually happens throughout the majority of a film, if that film draws me in, I consider it largely due to the director. Another contributor to that is Carl Foreman's incredible, nuanced, deceptively simple screenplay. Then we have the actors. High Noon is riddled with excellent character actors in roles sometimes comprising little more than one scene. You see the likes of Thomas Mitchell, Harry Morgan, and Lon Chaney Jr. bringing everything to these fairly tiny roles. Then you have Lloyd Bridges doing an excellent job as Harvey, Will's disgruntled deputy. Grace Kelly as Amy, filling the screen with an almost impossible amount of radiance, beauty, and, well, grace. And of course, Gary Cooper as Will Kane, who we watch get entirely disillusioned by his town throughout the movie. Cooper's quiet strength and subtle sensitivity are the heart of High Noon. He's just such a good guy that you assume people will change their mind at the last minute and help him, because how could you not? But no one does. So, when he finally tosses that star in the dirt, it is supremely satisfying. It is damn close to my favourite film of 1952, and I still have to give it Best Screenplay for Carl Foreman, Best Director for Fred Zinnemann, and Best Actor for Gary Cooper. Finally, it's Singin' in the Rain. Directed by Stanley Donen and Gene Kelly, who also stars as silent film star Don Lockwood, amidst the rise of the talkies. Alongside Kelly are Donald O'Connor as Cosmo, a musician and Don's best friend, who also happens to be hilarious, and Debbie Reynolds as young stage actress Kathy Selden, who Don meets and immediately falls for. Don's seemingly perpetual screen partner is the thoroughly despicable and idiotic Lena Lamont, played by Jean Hagen. When talking pictures suddenly become all the rage, Lena's grating and moronic voice threatens the careers of Lena and also Don, not to mention the studio's bottom line. Cosmo then comes up with an idea to turn their latest picture into a musical. But there's one problem: Lena. It is then decided that for this one film, Kathy will dub over Lena's voice. Then Lena finds out about it and becomes even more demanding and insufferable. I swear by the end of the movie you'll want to put her in a wood chipper. However, despite that, Singin' in the Rain is one of the best musicals ever made. Some very good, mostly old songs from MGM's back catalogue, but given new life here. There are a couple of new songs, most notably Donald O'Connor's immortal Make 'Em Laugh number, absolutely brimming with top-notch physical comedy. And of course, this is a Gene Kelly musical, so there's a big dreamy dance production shoehorned in, which is, as always, very bloody good. This one in particular, thanks in part to the addition of a very sultry and sexy Sid Charisse. However, there is one number which will forever endure as one of the greatest, most iconic moments of film history. Chances are, even if you've never seen the movie, when I said the words Singin' in the Rain, images flashed into your mind of Gene Kelly dancing in a downpour, jumping in puddles, and joyously singing that title song. I mean, the movie as a whole is a damn good time and really well made, with breathtaking cinematography, costumes, production design, charming, likeable characters, except for that one who, and I cannot stress this enough, you will want to see torn apart by ravenous wolves. But that one scene, that one song, that one performance during which Kelly apparently had a 103-degree fever is a piece of pure cinematic magic. And the reason why Singin' in the Rain has been elevated to my choice for Best Picture of 1952.
Dancing and singing in the rain.
Join me next time in A Century of Cinema when I will be discussing my favourite films of 1953. Now go watch a movie.